This is Feature Miner, so I came across even more information about this eclipse. So before I get started, I don't want to fearmonger anything about this eclipse. I just want to cover the information because this is some unusual information that has been coming out about this eclipse. I'll leave a playlist in the comment section and description box if you need to get caught up. But so in this video, we're going to cover how it looks like the Soundgarden Black Hole Sun video is actually about this April 8th eclipse, because it looks like secret societies have been expecting a day like this for a long time. Over a century ago, Aleister Crowley had performed a ritual, and he was trying to bring in this fallen one called the Lima. And so he did this, and they determined April 8th was when this ritual was completed. So they've been honoring April 8th for over 100 years. I'm hearing it's about 128 years later now since this ritual was performed and completed. And so this makes sense now why NASA is sending up the APEP rocket, because this is an honor of this Egyptian ritual that Crowley had completed. And this day of the eclipse happens to fall on their special day. So they're taking this like this is a very serious celebration. So they're honoring it with 3 rockets called a PIP that they're sending up. And also we can find a lot of clues in the Black Hole Sun video, like I said, because in that video you saw how they're calling the eclipse the Black Hole Sun because that's how it looks when the object covers the sun. Scientists say it's the moon, but in other videos we explore other options. But either way, whatever's causing this eclipse is what they're saying looks like a black hole sun in the video. And in the video you can see a lot of strange stuff occurring with the church. They're holding signs talking about it's the end of the world, and that's a lot like how we see there's been a lot of chatter about this eclipse so far. And so in the video, the church people were claiming that this eclipse was the end of the world. And then when the eclipse happened, a lot of strange stuff started taking place. People's faces started changing. So that kind of represents that people started changing and becoming demonic, and it was very creepy. So this video might have been a clue about this day. Now, this day's finally coming for them where, yeah, basically it looks like they're celebrating this day as bringing in their unholy day, because it's honoring Horus from what I understand. So this is a big day for them. They said Crowley wrote this book and it took 3 days for him to write it. I'm not sure exactly what the title of that book was called again, but they said it took him 3 days to complete it, and that these 3 rockets they're sending up honors that they're bringing in the day of Horus with this eclipse. So I wouldn't be surprised maybe if they might have something planned for either on the day of the eclipse or after, maybe soon after. Who knows if this is what they're going to use to bring in their plans. So like I said, though, we don't want to get too carried away with all this, but it is pretty interesting stuff. So basically, also, some people are questioning why the eclipse is going to be going from the west to the east, because the sun moves from the east to the west. So according to reports, this eclipse shadow is going to be moving the opposite of the sun. Now that's pretty strange, but they're trying to explain it away like, oh, it's just a optical illusion because of how the shadow of the moon is going to be projected onto the earth. They're saying it's going to appear to be moving from the west to the east based off of their science. They're saying it all makes sense and matches up. So they're dismissing it as anything special. They're basically saying it's just how the moon shadow is going to be looking. So yeah, whatever. I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean, I think it's kind of strange, regardless of their scientific explanation of this being just normal observations. Like it's really no big deal, they're saying. But yeah, it does seem kind of strange for the moon shadow, in my opinion, to be moving to the east instead of to the west. So also, one last thing I want to mention about this eclipse is how I do find it kind of strange how, look at the chance of this eclipse falling right after the Passover celebration. And so a lot of Christians celebrate Easter. And so Easter and Passover pretty much comes around the same time every year. And both of those days have passed. And so according to the Bible, it looked like the Messiah was honoring the Passover, and it has turned into Easter, where they're saying 3 days later he rose, and that's the day they're honoring. The only thing about Easter is, with me, I'm looking at like the name Easter, and if it might have something to do with this goddess called Ishtar, I believe the name was, also with the Easter bunny and the fertility rituals around that. So that's why I kind of, take a step back. I don't get too much caught up in organized religion, but from what I understand, Passover is the actual, that's like a very serious day for sure. Easter, I know that they're honoring the Messiah and everything, but there's kind of a lot more mixed in with it. So that's why I kind of just had to make that disclaimer. Anyways, I find it interesting that the eclipse is falling pretty much right after that holy day. So another interesting detail is that after Jesus' crucifixion, the Bible details that the sun darkened for a period of 3 hours. So that sounds a lot like possibly a solar eclipse happened after Jesus' crucifixion. I find that to be something of a strange coincidence, if you will. So with all of this information coming out about these rituals that the occultists and the secret societies are getting all excited about with this eclipse, that is something to take note of. So look, check out my playlist about the eclipse in the comment section in the description box to get caught up on all the information I have about this eclipse. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Also leave links to my other channels, my social media, my Feed Your Mind store, and I got a lot of new stuff in that Feed Your Mind store, so check that out. And sign up to my free email newsletters and much more. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you can support this channel, please donate as little as $1 to help keep this channel online. So that's it for today. This has been Feed Your Mind, signing off.